Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to International News, broadcasting today from SATV's Gulshan studio. There are many news items to cover today. It's very exciting. But before we get going, let me introduce my co-host, if you will, Norman Floyd Barnes, a geopolitical specialist who's based in Washington, D.C. in the United States. Norman, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you. We start another week here in Washington. We getting close to our birthday, the July the 4th, and we're looking right now exactly what's happening with the situation in Venezuela, and while we're trying to figure that out, Iran and the United States is back at it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that Iran story sort of needs a little bit more discussion. It seems that
Yes.
the Revolutionary Guard exercises more control over the decisions of Iran than some of the people who were involved in the negotiation, and that they have threatened to maintain control over the strait. How would you describe what happened over the weekend and what the implications are for continuing United States ceasefire with Iran?
Well, it's the ceasefire process is in jeopardy because, as you say, the people we are talking at the table, the assigned officials, are actually not the ones who run in the country. Matter of fact, each region has its own leader, and they have their own orders. So while we having people talk about peace, there's other people, other parts of the country who have other plans. They have other wishes, and that's happening on the same side with Israel, and Israel is doing the same thing, and we are dealing with a situation where it's very day by day. We don't know. We attack their installations. They attack our colleagues, Kuwait, Bahrain, UAE, they bring out attacks on them. So this is causing it's very penetrating to the point where basically people are now very concerned about whether or not we're ever going to see any peace. And the United States' exit strategy is being challenged right now. We're looking at sending military troops to that region, back to that region. So we're basically the dog is chasing the tail. We're going around and around and around, and the issues are not being addressed. We have these little skirmishes. I attack a tanker, you attack you use the drone to attack my communication center. So these little tag me, I tag you type of situation is going to persist until we come to a understand exactly what we want. What do the United States want? What do Iran want? And work that out. But right now we have no control. There's no control over the peace process.
Mm-hmm.
We have, like I said, we have Israel, we have Iran, we have us, and everybody's looking for a reason. It looks to me, everybody wants to fight. Somebody wants to fight. Some reason there's all the indications that they want some type of war, and peace is something of a abstract desert.
Yeah, excellent, Norman. That's a very good opening analysis. My own observation is that I think that the United States overreacted significantly to the situation that happened over the weekend. There will be some issues in the strait initiated by Iran against shipping, but I don't think that's any reason for the United States to launch a military response. I think there has to be some way to negotiate, to talk about it. But if they continue to use military force and use attacks on the ballistic missiles, so to say, then I think also that Iran is known to attack all our Gulf allies, and that we're just inviting this tit-for-tat explosive kind of a situation between the parties, which I think needs to be modulated. If somebody was in charge, as you say, and if we had a real moderator who who is able to make decisions about what should be done instead of people who are quick on the trigger and are responding too fast, I think that situation could be allowed to go through the 60-day process a little bit more peacefully. But as it stands now, every single little event evinces a military response. And I think that's totally unnecessary. So let's hope that we can get something more.
I agree with that. And it appears to me, I mean, another strategy is the oversensitivity response is based on a result of exactly what your intent was. Your intent is to basically do this. If you intended to look for a reason to start the conflict again, you have it.
Yeah.
So basically, I see the response, it's not an overreaction, it's based on reactions to something they want. So basically, they're giving them exactly the reason to come in and start this conflict. So I think that they want open engagement, which I think is a bad decision. Is you do not want to put troops on the ground in that region. It will be devastating, more devastating than what's happening in Venezuela right now.
Norman, pin the tail on a donkey. Which one of the leaders in the United States deserves our shame, if you will, or our insult for leading this? Is it Trump or Hegseth?
Well, Hegseth is just a pit bull for the president. I think our president, our chief executive, is getting bad advice. And matter of fact, I think his advice came from the Pentagon, and there are people who wanted the war hawks who wanted a conflict, and he took the advice. And now, looking at it as a businessman, deal maker, he looks at it as bad medicine. Basically, we figure out his goal is to have economic empowerment for the country and the world. The Pentagon, the Department of War now wants war, and they look at that as terms of stimulating the economy. But the problem is the rest of the world doesn't see it that way, and now they're looking at alternative because we went in with the hammer, the warlike thing. And now they say, well, hey, I don't like this. Yes, you kill people, but I don't want to deal with you anymore. So they're finding solutions, and these solutions do not include the United States plan, particularly President Trump's plan for enrichment and empowerment of the United States. People are finding other options, and this is not going to be very good for our economy, our government, and our future standings in the world. People are looking at, hey, you're the big guy, but you talk a big game, but you do nothing. You produce very little. So let's shop around and find other alternatives. And you have to change the way you do things, United States. You have to change the way how you address and deal with the rest of the world. So between Pete and President Trump, they are basically in the same circle, but they have coming from different viewpoints. And I think our president need to get another third opinion.
Yeah, I think we're looking at the decline and fall of the American empire, Norman. We'll see how that goes. On somewhat related topic, let's talk a bit about Lebanon. I mean, Lebanon is sort of tied into the U.S.-Iran conflict. It was one of the key points from Iran's side. Apparently, there's some ceasefire been negotiated. What do you hear in Washington about the holding power of that ceasefire and arrangement that was worked out over the weekend? Where supposedly my contacts are stating basically that this is another false situation going on. It's just a delay. A staging to stage other things. They're going to continue. Israel has not changed its policy. Its mission is still the same. There will be a brief pause to restock, and then they will go right back to what they do best, kill. Yeah, that is a sad statement, but accurate very much. I mean, Israel seems to be such a militaristic, such a a bellicose country these days. It's impossible for anybody to be allies with them, as is evident in the situation in Europe. Many European countries are disassociating themselves from partnerships with Israel, and at the same time, key Israeli officials have been banned from entering countries. And finally, I want to note, and I'm sure, Norman, you're aware of it as well, Benjamin Netanyahu has been issued a summons by the International Court, and that he may have to face time in The Hague to address his actions, not just in Lebanon but also in Gaza. And so I think that's something we have to keep watching. But I agree with you. This is really just sort of like another one of these fake deals where there's a paper product, but war continues, killing continues, and there seems to be no end in sight. Israel does not want a peaceful situation.
No, they do not. They don't see themselves. I can't see them sitting down at the table with Hezbollah talking about anything except how I'm going to hit you next, you're going to hit me next. They both hate each other to the point where there's no room for conversation. They're on a self-destruction path. The basic, you kill me and I kill you, and that's the way it's going to be. I'm not going to be satisfied with anything less. There's nothing to negotiate. There's nothing. There's no resources. There's no commerce. There's no business. There's no peace. Mind or life they can talk about. They're just talking about one thing. And it is very sickening because basically they are dragging the whole region into this death wish between the two. And I don't see any type of ceasefire that will hold because somebody will always find a reason to start the fire back up again. The situation with the prime minister, there's going to be something that flares up to allow him to escape the emergency situation there, and with his trial and his war issues, crime issues.
Yeah,
there will be a reason will be more important that he has to address at the moment because they feel that they are under siege, the country is under siege, and they have to protect themselves from this great enemy.
yeah, he's dodged the bullet now for several years, claiming illness
Yeah,
and I have other options and
there's a
I cannot
reason.
do it. So, he's a wily fox, and he'll probably
Yeah.
try to find some way to get out of this as well. No question about that. Thank you, Norman. Uh,
hmm
I want to just ask, though, if you mentioned it, Hezbollah has said that Lebanon has sacrificed its sovereignty in the negotiations that were overseen by the United States. This is another one of these Trump has solved another war kind of stories, fantasies. And so if Hezbollah is not going to be recognize this agreement at all, and that they see it as a sacrifice of sovereignty of Lebanon, we're back in the same situation we were 2 or 3 weeks ago, with the parties just simply at each other's throats.
We're never going to get into peace. It doesn't appear they want into peace because they're not so happy with the people who are talking peace, negotiating peace, are not the actual players. They're not the players. They're just representatives who represent a small faction. They have no control over Hezbollah, and we're the same situation with Israel. The people who really want peace are not the ones who are actually pulling the strings,
Yep.
making things happen. So we have an underlying fact. We have the surface people nice, talking at the hand, but at the same time, there's war going on, and it's a bitter situation. Uh,
hmm
I don't see an end to it. I don't know what we can do as a global society to get these two parties to understand that they have to live in peace or they don't live at all. Maybe they don't want to live at all. I don't
Yeah.
know.
All right. Thank you, Norman. We have to go for a little short break now. Thanks very much. I think we've
Yeah.
exhausted that topic for the day, but it's going to go on for a long, long time. So when we come back, let's talk a little bit about drone technology and how it's used in warfare. And also, let's get a little bit about what can we say about the World Cup. So now for a break. We'll be right back.
This global world.
for China to come to agreement.
They will face better projects.
With presidency of China and President Lee of South Korea.
Trump's White House that is in favor of these things.
Simply not enough action being taken to address the problem of fossil fuels.
What their plan initially is towards the Caribbean, a place that has been met with two types of disasters.
Bangladeshi students at the same level of opportunity internationally and domestically.
International Affairs. Watch every Sunday to Thursday at 2 p.m. only on SATV and SATV Digital.
Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsulam Pantha.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation from the plan
opening an open war conflict with them.
Testing nuclear missiles.
Russia's announcement of these supposedly successful testing.
Special and exclusive footage that is being played on SATV's screen.
Really coming to terms with Hamas.
Damage estimated between this entire issue.
President Trump is expected to hold bilateral talks.
Preserving biodiversity and tackling climate change.
We cannot protect the planet before we negotiate peace.
Where is it going? Is it understanding the needs of its people before the needs of this global world?
For China to come to agreement.
They will face better projects.
With presidency of China and President Lee of South Korea.
Trump's White House that is in favor of these things.
Simply not enough action being taken to address the problem of fossil fuels.
What their plan initially is towards the Caribbean, a place that has been met with two types of disasters.
Bangladeshi students at the same level of opportunity internationally and domestically.
International Affairs. Watch every Sunday to Thursday at 2 p.m. only on SATV and SATV Digital.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the first part of the show. I'm going to have a nice conversation a little bit with Norman about the broader implications of the World Cup as a representation of how countries from all over the world can come together and cooperate and set a spirit of peace and cooperation. I've watched all those games. I'm pretty impressed when I see itty-bitty countries like play against one of the big dogs. And it always impresses me about the collegiality, the friendship. Norman, you're a former international athlete. I mean, how are you feeling about the World Cup?
Yeah, John is kind of. I was just thinking about that the other day. I'm sitting there watching the games. It's very addicting. Matter of fact, it's like a daily thing you have to have. And I just cringe. I said, what's going to happen after the World Cup? It's going to be a big gap. Right now, it's part of the American life now. People are now seeing what the rest of the world is seeing, that this is part of a lifestyle. This is something, it shows potential. You got other countries are struggling. You see little countries, Cape Verde, we look at, believe it or not, in the United States, the Iranian team is the Cinderella team. Because of the hardships they're having, they are rooting for them. Unfortunately, they are going to exit the process, but everybody loves what they have been struggling and going to. It appears that people are associating themselves with the struggle, what they have to deal with, and hope.
Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsulam Pantha.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation from the plan
Opening an open war conflict with them.
Testing nuclear missiles.
Russia's announcement of these supposedly successful testing.
Special and exclusive footage that is being played on SATV's screen.
Really coming to terms with Hamas.
Damage estimated between this entire issue.
President Trump is expected to hold bilateral talks.
Preserving biodiversity and tackling climate change.
We cannot protect the planet before we negotiate peace.
Where is it going? Is it understanding the needs of its people before the needs of this global world?
For China to come to agreement.
They will face better projects.
with President Xi of China and President Lee of South Korea.
Trump's White House that is in favor of these things.
Simply not enough action being taken to address the problem of fossil fuels.
What their plan initially is towards the Caribbean, a place that has been met with two types of disasters.
Bangladeshi students at the same level of opportunity internationally and domestically.
International Affairs. Watch every Sunday to Thursday at 2 p.m. only on SATV and SATV Digital.
Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsul Alam.
And then we got these on the outliners. We got these, countries fighting war, killing people, this and that. Is abstract. It's totally different. And it also gives the people a sense of I can get out of this war, the economy, my social situation. I don't have the money. I don't have this. We don't have this, but I do have my soccer. So I can engage in that. I can for at least a couple of hours, I can engage in something that takes me away from the drama and the sorrow and the despair that we are dealing with every day. It makes life easier to live. So like I said, I don't know what they have planned after the World Cup, but they better have something, because this is something that the people know. I know people in journalism, entertainment, they are looking at this. How can we keep this momentum going? And this is a wave, a momentum. People are now believing that they are part of this. What you're seeing, is the solution is we got sports game, people engage already, everybody can interface. We make it convenient because we have the TV, we have the radio, we have systems, we have jumbo screens in malls, and people are going to see these games. And then, we make the point that people are now have the feeling. I get a general good feeling watching these matches. People get a good feeling. My team won, my team advanced, my team didn't win, but had a good gala. They showed well. They showed what people really can do if they put their mind to it. And then you have the whole point of people now engaging each other. They are communicating, they are talking. And when you have people engaging and establish relationships, it's very hard to kill.
I think it's a great, good summary, because I look at it, I watch a lot of games, and I see this sort of bonding between people from different parts of the world. I see a Senegalese.
And it's beautiful.
It's very beautiful, and it's so contrary to what you might see on a weekly basis in New York at the United Nations, where there are also countries represented, but they're just blah, blah, blah talking heads. We see real people in real situations. I mean, sports has always been a great equalizer. But this kind of bonding, this ability of the North America, the three countries, to really put on a show like this and bring people together, I think at a time, it couldn't have come at a better time. We've got war in Russia and Ukraine. We've got war in Iran and the Middle East. We have conflicts and earthquakes and all these things. And this very happy moment, 2 or 3 weeks of the World Cup, I think is giving people an outlet to sort of have a happy feeling about what's going on in the world. And so I'm very pleased to see it.
Yeah, the thing is, what's next? What's next? We have to, they're waiting to talk now for the next World Cup. But what happens, the gap in between there? There has to be a process, and I think the attention of soccer is going to be greatly enhanced in the United States. I know it's all over the world. People play, they do that, but it's going to be greatly enhanced. And people
have
go
for a short break.
Pride and walking down the street, meeting somebody. From you from Peru, you from this, you from Spain, you from whatever, and they start a casual conversation based on the fact that they are competing like this, and now these establishing relationships.
Okay, thanks very much. Go for a short break. I don't see an easy resolution to this, because every slight deviation from the plan,
Opening an open war conflict with them.
Testing nuclear missiles.
Russia's announcement of these supposedly successful testing.
Special and exclusive footage that is being played on SATV screen.
Really coming to terms with Hamas.
Damage estimated between this entire issue.
President Trump is expected to hold bilateral talks.
preserving biodiversity and tackling climate change.
We cannot protect the planet before we negotiate peace.
Where is it going? Is it understanding the needs of its people before the needs of this global world?
For China to come to agreement,
They will face better projects.
with President Xi of China and President Lee of South Korea.
Trump's White House that is in favor of these things.
Simply not enough action being taken to address the problem of fossil fuels.
What their plan initially is towards the Caribbean, a place that has been met with two types of disasters.
Bangladeshi students at the same level of opportunity internationally and domestically.
International affairs. Watch every Sunday to Thursday at 2 p.m. only on SATV and SATV Digital.
Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsul Alam Pantha.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation from the plan
Opening an open war conflict with them.
Testing nuclear missiles.
Russia's announcement of these supposedly successful testing.
Special and exclusive footage that is being played on SATV screen.
really coming to terms with Hamas.
Damage estimated between this entire issue.
President Trump is expected to hold bilateral talks
Preserving biodiversity and tackling climate change.
We cannot protect the planet before we negotiate peace.
Where is it going? Is it understanding the needs of its people before the needs of this global world?
For China to come to agreement,
They will face better projects.
with President Xi of China and President Lee of South Korea.
Trump's White House that is in favor of these things.
simply not enough action being taken to address the problem of fossil fuels.
What their
Welcome back. Guess who joined us? We're joined now, I'm in the commentator seat now, with our usual host right here. Panto's joining us, and so happy to have him. Thank you for coming in. I know you had a hard time getting here, but we try to do our best to cover for you, brother.
Thank you so much for covering, and of course I am on the set today as my old post as the international affairs commentator. I saw that you were talking about the World Cup in a roundabout, that what is happening. I've heard that Iran has been knocked out of the group games as well, with renewed hostilities. If you could also lead me on into what you were discussing with Norman as well.
Well, Norman and I had a nice discussion about how isn't it nice to have a comparison between all of the bad news that you have in the world and something which seems to be as positive as the World Cup. People coming together, people who are meeting on the street, strangers, but they can tell from different countries, and they're talking, they're partying. You know, Boston was invaded by Scotland, and it was like a huge party. No Scotland, no party. And they left an amazing impact on the city, as did other people. And the heartbreak of Iran to lose out on a VAR decision of offside and therefore not qualifying is pretty heartbreaking. And Norman has said they were the underdog. They were the people's choice now because they had to suffer so much not being able to come directly to the game. They were stranded in Mexico. Right. So I think both of us feel, and what do you feel about these events, about sort of putting a positive spin on world right now? We need it.
Thank you for an important question. The captain of the Iran team, I believe his last name is Tarimi. So what he was stating is that he had to go through immense hurdles from flying in, or if not moving in from Mexico into United States, playing their game and immediately leaving afterwards. It does leave a sort of psychological impact on the team's players. And the support team have not been granted their visas for the US. So they were left out of this entire time that they were playing. But I think it was two other teams that scored 3-3 goals, tying the score, which made sure that Iran was the only nation to be left out of their group stage. And that's on the other side, we see also renewed tensions regarding Iran, regarding the various sides. One is, of course, stating that it is in retaliation to previous attacks. So it's still in a spiral, I believe.
Yeah, but it must be tough on athletes who are playing an event in the United States or Mexico, wherever the events was held, and yet they're They know that there's a bombing potential going on in their own country. They're on the field, on the pitch, representing their country, which is under attack. This is an enormous psychological burden for some of these players, and I give them lots of credit for being able to hold their own, stay in it until the very, very last moment when a VAR decision went against them. Otherwise, they would have been in the round of 32. So, hats off to Iran for their competition. That's great. Now, while we're in this this region, let's talk a bit about Venezuela.
Please.
How
and initially is towards the Caribbean, a place that has been met with two types of disasters.
Bangladeshi students at the same level of opportunity internationally and domestically.
International Affairs. Watch every Sunday to Thursday at 2 p.m. only on SATV and SATV Digital.
Hello and welcome to International Affairs, and my name is Shamsul Alam Pantho.
I don't see an easy resolution to this because every slight deviation from the plan,
Opening an open war conflict with them.
Testing new
will be helping Venezuela. Local regional partners in that region, Chile as well as Colombia, has stepped in. We see even nations such as Turkey has been trying to get the aid supporters in. Earlier, yesterday I believe, there was some aftershocks that also shaken Venezuela once more, and much of the damages that we see even through satellite imagery is off the coastline, and that is exactly the location of where the two twin earthquakes had happened. It is still early to say what is the total death toll, as people who have survived this casualty are still on the streets trying to voice their concerns in the rescue efforts. Because when you're stuck under rubble, there's very slim chance of you to come out alive. That is one of the cases. We've seen some reporting coming from various news agencies. It states that rescue efforts are overwhelmed in that nation, in the capital. So still early with the death toll number. It has increased in the last couple of days, and the earthquakes remain. But I'm hoping to see more of a global reaction to this, a global action in the case of trying to get these stranded people out of the rubble. And I believe that the earthquake hit the nation when it was a public holiday. So that is where the major concerns are with the death toll as well.
Yeah, well, we all pray for them and hope the best for them. Norman, you've been talking about the environment and the planet and so forth, and we have huge heat waves coming through Europe. We have floods and now this earthquake. How do you put this whole context? What do you want to say about like Mother Earth putting up with all of these problems as we look around the globe?
Well, the Earth is a living, breathing thing. It's living, it's adjusting, it rotates, and it's constantly adjusting. The surface area is constantly adjusting. The tectonic plates, they move and they shift. That's how they create the continents and stuff. So we're in the process of the Earth is a process of transitioning, and the surface dweller, the people will have to learn to adjust. It's unfortunate with all the knowledge. We can go in space, we can do other things, we can do trillionaire, we can do all these things, but we can't understand and predict the future. We don't understand what we don't understand. We understand the things that we think we can control, but the more important thing is that we have to understand, how do we survive and live on the surface of the Earth? We got the heat, extreme in Europe. We got the flooding, we got hurricane season, we got earthquakes. Everything is shifting, everything is moving. The Earth is adjusting, and I can't escape not saying that nature is responding to how we are doing and treating the Earth. We are not treating each other well. We abuse, we misuse, and we abuse the resources we have. And we're just not treating people right. And so things are happening, even though I was talking about, we got people want to kill each other. We got countries wanting to kill each other. Well, I think Mother Nature has another plan. And that plan is going to supersede anything that we think we can have in between us. It's going to be a situation where we're going to have to bond, or we're all going to go down the same path. It's a situation where, yeah, you're fighting yourself, but you have to look about the survival of the human race. And we're fastly forgetting who we are. We are just a speck in the atmosphere of the universe, the solar system. And we think we all that. We are not all that. We're just a period of time. And our time is going to pass. But we need to recognize that we need certain things that we can control instead of contributing to that. I used to teach a class in the UAE and Abu Dhabi. All modern day disasters are man-made. And most of this stuff is based on, we know certain risks, certain things, but we try to override it because we can outthink nature. It never happens. Nature always recoup, adjust, and keep moving on. Even though we're thinking we're smarter than we don't understand what we don't understand.
Yeah, good summary. But also, let me just follow up. You know, I think that 95% of humanity thinks like you and wants to do the best for the planet, wants to keep the global warming under control and so forth. But there's a significant portion of the economy, let's say, which is
yes,
not complying with the way that people hope that the world will react. These are the fossil fuel, oil industry, the big industries that are polluting. This is okay. This is really a tough situation. Do you agree, Norman? What do you think about that?
It's greed.
Greed.
It's greed. I mean, profits right now, we know certain things are bad, but we still do it. Just like, okay, I will use a scenario, cigarettes. We know cigarettes is bad for you, but we still buy cigarettes. They still sell cigarettes. Well, you buy cigarettes, but someone sells it. I'm talking about the people who sell. You know it's bad, but you still sell it. But you sell it because it's a profit, knowing it's going to kill people. So the same situation here. Some of the things we know, we take our resources, we stop here, but we're looking for that instant profitability, that profit. We want to make the money now. And at the end of the day, money is not going to save us. It's not going to save us.
Listen, thanks a lot. Okay. Panto, what's your thought on that? Is it greed? Norman has agreed. He's used that word before on this show, greed.
Right. As I was hearing Norman, I just wanted to add on that some issues that spiral out regarding the commercial element that affects onto global warming. We know there has been various issues when it comes to the safety and security of people, of wildlife. And in major cases, we see that we all want the positives to happen, as you were mentioning regarding climate change. But Norman gave an excellent example of cigarette usage. It once again kills its consumers.
Yeah, we know it's bad, but it's still
similarly, overly usage of batteries, lead batteries, lead to lead in the bloodstream. Even with children in Bangladesh, that's a regional problem over here. That those who work at the lead factories, the battery factories, their children are contaminated with lead, and that does have an everlasting experience. Once again, we must understand the differences between what is good for us and what is bad, and in order to protect this planet. Some examples of this heat issue that we're seeing in Denmark, it has recorded its hottest day with 36.6 Celsius amid this intense heat wave, as several people in France has created chaotic scenes at the stores to buy discounted air conditioners. So this has had an immense effect economically as well.
Well, listen, thank you very much, and thanks for coming in. It was nice to see you. Good to be here. Today is International Goodbye to John Day for a while, so I'm happy to be here and say goodbye, and thank you all for looking in. I think it was a great show. Take care. Goodbye.